October, finally.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you're wearing your pink.
I am.
To show your support. And people are obviously showing their pink off all month long. But it's a time to raise awareness for ways we can prevent and get closer to a cure for breast cancer. So joining us this morning with complimentary supplement therapy is Jonathan Evans. He's the owner of the Herbarium in Chicopee. And you're talking about ways that we can bring these herbal supplements into our life.
Basically, there's an awful lot of research on all of these things. You have to remember one thing. All of these products are food. And
It's all plant-based.
It's all plant-based. Most of it.
Yeah.
Well, mushrooms are not plants, but that's a whole other story.
Really? Oh.
No, they're not.
Fungus, right?
Yeah.
But that's a whole other hour.
That's a whole other hour right there.
Okay.
But there's been research done on these things for decades. And sometimes they really can't tell you exactly what the pathway is. In some cases, things like flaxseed and some of the other herbs work as receptors. They fill the receptors in the body to fool the body into thinking it has enough estrogen. So you're not getting you're not feeding estrogen-dependent tumors. You've got other things like the mushrooms, the turkey tail mushrooms specifically. A 7-year, $2 million NIH-funded study showing that it was very effective, specifically for breast cancer.
So this is that you take it every day to...
You can take it as a preventative,
Okay.
and that's what most of these are. Because they are foods, they're being used as a preventative, and they're also being used after treatment, whether it's the chemo or radiation, when your immune system's been knocked down. These are the things that are helping to activate the T cells and the NK cells. Things like graviola specifically and selectively target cancer cells and don't hurt the healthy cells. Coenzyme Q10 is helping to strengthen the immune function and strengthen the whole immune system to give your body something better to work with. So when you're looking at these things in combinations, you're helping to A, prevent, and B, afterwards get your immune system back up. You have cancer all the time. Cancer by definition, just cells just expanding and reproducing out of control. These things, the food, your body is such an amazing machine. It is taking care of this all the time and getting rid of it. It's when the immune system goes down or you've got too much of the exogenous estrogen, things of this nature, you've knocked it down. This is where your body, now the cancer can finally take root and get going.
And these are kind of a tune-up for your body. In a sense, it's something that you can add to what you're doing. It's like, eating well, but also taking a vitamin pill to make sure you didn't miss anything.
Well, you've got to make sure that you're eating well. You're trying to get organic as much as possible because that has the nutrients in it. If you're going to take a vitamin, read the bloody label. I just had the experience the other day. Somebody brought me the Super Duper Women Over 50 to help protect. The company actually reduced some of the nutrients in there. How is that possible? Why is that possible? Read the back
It's obviously
label.
not too super duper, is it?
Well, they spent millions of dollars to say so, but it didn't turn out that way.
So this is turkey tail mushroom.
Turkey tail mushroom.
The other mushroom, is this the other one, the maitake?
This is a combination. It
Okay.
does have the maitake. Maitake does everything. I mean, antiviral, anti-tumor, and I'm not making medical claims. There are studies on these things. I'm just quoting the studies. It's food, for heaven's sakes. Your body knows what to do. You don't think about it when you're breathing, when you're eating a hot dog. You're not telling the calcium to go someplace. You're not telling the protein to go someplace. Your body has its own intelligence. Well, we're putting it in. Let your body kind of take care of it. This is what's been done for generations and centuries.
And always, these are great compliments if people want to talk to their doctor first. It's something that they can do in addition to getting treatment with a doctor.
30 years ago, people would have sat here and said this is voodoo. But the research has been done. A lot of the oncologists are familiar with many of these things. They encourage it. My wife even took part in a bone marrow transplant down at Bay State Medical some years ago, when the head of oncology came, worked with her with these things. She was able to administer these things to one of the patients, and they knocked it out of the ballpark.
This month more than ever. It's important that we're aware of all these treatments, and hopefully they can help some people.
Preventative maintenance.
Right, exactly. It's just good to know what there is and knowing what the good stuff is, making sure that you're taking the right, because you're bombarded with so many different options. You want to make sure you're picking the right one. So thank you so much, Jonathan,
My pleasure.
for being here. It's a great, we love having you, and it's a great time to talk about this, of course.